Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I was working at a tutoring center a little over a year ago when I had one of my students had just randomly asked if we could have any superpower we wanted, what would it be? I think it was around the time. It was just after Yom Kippur that year, and a few of my students also did some sort of fast for it. And I said that I wish I never had to eat anything again and not die from not eating, and because of how liberating it is. Now, I had another student. She was a 15, 16-year-old girl, and she gives the all American answer of she wishes she could eat everything she wants and not get fat. I can't think of another superpower that is more American than that, right? That's probably the wish of a lot of Americans, right? And so I don't understand why though, because even if you could eat anything you want and not get fat, first of all, I don't know if that also includes not getting cancer, type 2 diabetes, or all the other crap that can come with eating too much, right? I think most people don't think that through, right? They might imply it when they say they want to eat everything they want and not get fat, but most people don't think it through, right? A lot of people who get away with eating everything they want to not get fat don't get away with the other consequences, the medical consequences of eating too much. Right? That's number one. Number two, even if you do get away with that, it takes up a lot of your time, money, space, peace, just to be able to eat. Or what do I mean by all that? Well, first of all, if I didn't have to eat, I think a lot of things would be greatly simplified, right? So I teach at two different colleges. I sometimes do tutoring gigs. If I didn't have to think about mealtime, I think the flexibility of all my work would go up exponentially. I wouldn't have to think like right today I got two classes to teach. I got to think about how do I bring my lunch there and where to cook it and all that, right? And number two, I suspect it would be liberating if I needed to do any other sort of activity. If I wanted to take a trip overseas, I don't think I need to tell you how crammed everything is on the airplane and how, if you have any sort of dietary restriction, how difficult it might be to find something if there's a language barrier, right? But all of that would evaporate if I didn't have to eat. And number two, the financial aspect of it. See, 3 months ago when I was very ill and I lost my appetite, I remember thinking it was almost like I got a raise in terms of my pay. All of a sudden, I'm not thinking about buying food anymore. I'm thinking about buying silver mining stocks and especially physical bismuth to make art out of, right? And that was great. Unfortunately, my raise abruptly ended one day. I woke up and all of a sudden my appetite returned with a thrum. And it was like, oh, come on. I was just starting to enjoy it. I'm serious about that. Granted, I'm glad that my health has returned to normal. Um, and so now look, at the time it was also very lonely to not be able to eat anything. I would wake up feeling like I just had a 5 course dinner. And in fact, even when I was dreaming at night, sometimes in the dream I would be throwing up and not wanting to eat. I had a dream one time. You gotta understand, I was also doing no fap at the time, and I would often have wet dreams as a result of that. I need to try that again. When I went 14 days without fapping, I would often have a wet dream. I dreamt that I had gone to Poland to visit Evelina Falenta, the second place winner of Polish Idol season one, and it had been years since I quit masturbating, and I also haven't had a good appetite in many, many, many years, and I was lonely. And I dreamt that I went to visit her, and because of how long I hadn't been masturbating, I got her pregnant with like 10 babies at one time, and I still didn't have an appetite, but neither did she because she was pregnant with 10 babies, and we were just wandering around, wondering what we were going to eat because neither of us had an appetite. And then I woke up and realized that I had a wet dream. I don't know why I chose Evelina Falenta for that though. I hardly ever fantasize about her these days. Um, anyway, given the choice, would you rather eat everything you want without consequence, or not have to eat anything and not suffer consequences. I'll let you leave a comment on your choice for that. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.